I'm going to be talking about a show that last premiered in 2018, and the show is called Cooper's Treasure. This show is very interesting because it focuses on an astronaut called Gordon Cooper, and Gordon Cooper was an astronaut who was on the Gemini and Mercury missions. The record he set was being in space for the longest time. He was up in space for about a week. That was the longest time anyone had been up in space. While he was an astronaut, he was also fascinated in shipwrecks. I think he had been to the Bahamas looking for shipwrecks and treasure while he was an astronaut or before. And he was one of the people who kind of started the industry. And what happened while he was up in space, he had a special piece of equipment that has never been disclosed, but it was a piece of equipment to scan for metal, like missiles and missile silos in Cuba and places around the world. It was for military purposes and reconnaissance on where potential nuclear warheads were. He was using that while he was up in space. He was looking at parts of the world, and he'd see these dark spots. In those dark spots, the magnetometer would go off, and what would happen is he knew if there was metal in that one spot that there was a shipwreck. And what he did was he would write down the coordinates and put it on a giant map he had and all the notes he had. And while he was up in space, he did that, and he logged hundreds of shipwrecks and the coordinates to the shipwrecks and all the information he had. And he also took pictures of that specific spot where there was a shipwreck. Daryl Miklos' father was Roger Miklos, and Daryl's father is one of the founding fathers of treasure hunting. Was on one of the late night shows. On that same night he was on that show, Gordon Cooper was there, and Roger Miklos became friends with Gordon Cooper. And then Daryl was there as well, and he became friends with Gordon Cooper. Daryl Miklos and Gordon Cooper had a lifelong friendship until Gordon Cooper passed away in 2004, I think it was. And a couple days before Gordon Cooper passed away, he handed Daryl all the information that he had taken while he was up on a Gemini mission. The Gemini mission where he set the record for the longest flight in space. He had not shared that information with anybody, not even NASA or any of his fellow friends. And in his later years, after he stopped going into space, he would go to the Bahamas and try and find shipwrecks that he had spotted, and he handed all that information to Daryl Miklos. In the first season, it shows Daryl going through it. One of the shipwrecks that Gordon Cooper had spotted, he found it in the 1960s when he went up in the Gemini mission. And one of those shipwrecks was a shipwreck that was found in the mid-1980s called the Atocha. Mel Fisher and his family was the ones who discovered the Atocha shipwreck. And as of right now, they've recovered over $500 million worth of treasure. And there still is more treasure. They've not found even close to the amount of treasure that was on the Atocha shipwreck, because the captain's quarter had the most valuable stuff, and that has not been located yet. And to this day, Mel Fisher's company and family is still diving on the Atocha shipwreck, and they're still recovering treasure. One of Gordon Cooper's shipwrecks pointed to the Atocha shipwreck. It was marked 20 years before it was actually found. Right at the end of the season, the last couple episodes, Daryl and his crew were searching destinations that Gordon Cooper had marked out. This shipwreck was in Turks and Caicos, and this shipwreck was believed to be one of Christopher Columbus's ships. They dove on it, and they found its giant anchor, so they brought in a barge with a big crane, and they hoisted this anchor up to inspect it. This anchor was massive, and they believed it to be a ship from one of Christopher Columbus's fleets. They were going to try and get permits to recover it, but somebody had already claimed that shipwreck. That may be true, but it may not be true, because everyone is funny about treasure. If you find a treasure, there's people that are trying to claim it from all over the place, and treasure hunting and recovery is a very dangerous job because of people trying to take the treasure that you found from you. It'd be criminals that are trying to do it, or other countries trying to take it away from you. And during season 1, he was trying to decode some of the information from the stuff he discovered about these shipwrecks. And Daryl also tried to ask about that specific piece of technology that was on the Gemini mission that Gordon Cooper was involved in, and he got in touch with the flight director who was in charge of that mission and many other missions. I don't remember his name, because it's been such a long time ago that I watched this show. He asked him about it, and he's like, I can't talk about it. So whatever it was, it still is classified, whatever was on that Gemini mission. In season 2, the investors had really given them a big amount of money, so they had a really big ship to support them, and they also had a old Coast Guard boat. They used that to pull sonar and looking for shipwrecks. And in this one spot, Gordon Cooper had noted that there was about 11 shipwrecks in this one area. They were finding targets and they marked it out. Throughout the whole season, they were diving. One shipwreck they were looking at, they found a trail of destruction, and at one point in the season, Daryl needed the map to help decode a bunch of stuff, a bunch of the areas where Gordon Cooper had marked on it and information he had on it. Daryl asked his dad, Roger Miklos, for it, and his dad was not really willing to give that up. After a couple episodes of trying and trying, his father finally gave it to him, and now Daryl has that map so he can decode a bunch of stuff. Towards the end of the season, they had finally found the main pile from the shipwreck, and they pulled up gold coins and other artifacts from this shipwreck. Supposedly on one of these shipwrecks, there was a solid gold table from one of the captain's quarters, but they didn't end up finding it, and maybe at some point they will find it. Cooper's Treasure is a really interesting show. It was on the Discovery Channel, and it's not been on since 2018, and I really love this kind of content. I've always been fascinated with it, and that's something in the future I'd like to be a part of. Because right now, there's over 3 million shipwrecks in this world, and I don't think even 1% of those shipwrecks have been found. And someone said there's maybe $100 billion worth of treasure. I am going to say there's probably close to $1 trillion+ worth of treasure from shipwrecks. Because there's one shipwreck off the coast of Cartagena, Colombia, and that shipwreck, when it was found, it was worth $17 billion, and in today's dollars, it is worth $20 to $22 billion. So, I'd say there's over $1 trillion worth of treasure or more out there still to be recovered. If you ever get the chance to watch Cooper's Treasure, I would highly recommend watching it. I'm hoping that there'll be a new season soon, or another network will pick it up. But I'll talk about this in a later video. I'm going to be making 2 other videos about this show. I hope you guys enjoyed me talking about what Cooper's Treasure is about, and just learning more about it, and me explaining what the show was about, and a little bit of history about Gordon Cooper. The next video I will be making is, a while ago some guy wrote an article on why he thinks Cooper's Treasure is fake. And in that video I'm gonna, 10 reasons why Cooper's Treasure is fake. I'm gonna give 10 reasons why, from the same article, why I believe Cooper's Treasure is not fake. So, stay tuned for that video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please share this video with your friends and family. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon down below so you can be notified when I upload videos. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you guys for watching, and if you ain't dreaming, you ain't living. Don't forget to dream big.